Hi, everybody. Welcome. Today is July 20th. We are continuing on from lesson 1. We went through page 13 on Tuesday. That video is on the back end of the website now. And we're continuing on to scripts and business plan. So with scripts, the scripts are on the back end of the website. Feel free to use them, learn them. But the business plan is what I wanted to go over. Just a real quick brief. We've talked about this time and time again, but we are at the 6-month quarter, middle of the year review. And if you haven't written down what your plans were in the first part of the business, there's no way to track to figure out, are you doing what you're needing to do to hit the goals that you set for yourself? So with that said, if your plan is to try to get a transaction, which I'm sure everybody's here is, transaction to get a deal, well, can you really honestly look at your business plan and go, did I do the calls that I needed to do on a daily basis, weekly basis? Was I hitting those numbers? And if I was I getting my appointment set? And if I was, why don't I have a transaction yet? And if you haven't done that, then you have no idea where your business is doing. And are you truly doing profitable things on a daily basis? So are you doing the calls necessary? Are you doing the prospecting in order to get the calls, in order to get the appointments, in order to hit the transaction? Because it should be a very straightforward process of do these things, you get a transaction, don't stop doing that. And if you're tracking what you're doing on a weekly basis for whatever your goal is, then you should be able to look at it and go, all right, I need to tweak something in my business to be able to transition into a close. So in here, this is the business plan. My coach is pushing me to have this done by August 1st for my business. So if she's pushing me, there's obviously value there on why I should be doing it, which means there should be value there on why you guys should be doing it as well. So I challenge you to fill out your business goal breakdown. It is on the first page. Let's go. Business goal breakdown, business plan. So it doesn't look like it's on here, but you have it in the booklet. Why didn't that get scanned in? So we missed 4 pages. Okay. So this is your business plan. What is your mission statement? What is your why? Why do you do this every day? What is professional? What is personal business plan? This is where do you want to see your business come from? Every agent should have a sphere of influence. If you're not tapping into your sphere of influence, you're missing a big opportunity right now. Trina's had 4 appointments, potential clients from people that you know. They might not be clients now, but clients in the future. Did they call you, or did you reach out and call them? You reach out to them. That was part of her business plan of working her sphere of influence. She probably reached out to a lot of people. And out of those lot of people, she was able to get 4 people that are interested in real estate in the future. Some were, the timing was a lot sooner than others. Now, because of that, she was able to transition 1 into an actual client with a potential of a property management on top of that. So residual income. That all transitioned after 2 months of hard pushing. It's been about 2-3 months. Hard pushing is now converting into 1 transaction. So the stuff does work. The timing is different for everybody, but when you break into that 1, that's what typically breaks over. For experienced agents, I can almost guarantee that majority of people don't track their business to this level where they're going, I know exactly where my clients are coming from. Take an afternoon, pour a glass of wine, and fill this out. And then look at that every week, every quarter, every 6 months. So right now I'm looking at my next projection for the next 6 months. I know what I did for the last 6 months. How can I continue to stay stable in my business, if not do something better to tweak it to get better results? So I'm doing my projections. So that is the business plan. That is how you use this document. It is purely for you. These are just ideas for sources of business, but you should be tracking every source of business. If you go through your emails and find people reaching out to you, categorize that person. Put them in a category called sphere of influence. Put them in a category called sign call. You can utilize 5 Street that you have for free to do the categorization for you. Put all of your leads in 5 Street. It's your 5 Street account, and then label them. Bless you. And then label them. This is my sphere of influence. This is my customers. This is this. It's a very, very raw way of doing it, but it's there. And if you have nothing, use something. Get an Excel spreadsheet. Write all your sources down and start categorizing your people. Because at the end of the day, when you're ready to take your business to the next level, you're going to take that Excel spreadsheet and upload it into your CRM. Okay, so with that said, try to figure out your budget. I don't want to spend any money on my business. Well, your business is going to take a very long time to grow if you're not putting money into it. If you don't want to invest in yourself, then you're going to do a thing called sweat equity. Sweat equity means you're going to be doing things that you're uncomfortable doing, making a lot of phone calls, door knocking, because at the end of the day, you are a walking billboard for your business. You are going to have to get out and talk to the general public about real estate. Pick something that you're passionate about real estate, and go talk to people about that. People want to do business with people that are passionate about what they're doing. So figure out where your budget is, how much you want to spend on your budget. Get it down so you know that, all right, I have 50 extra dollars that I can put towards marketing, but I better see a return on that money. If I don't see a return, then let me try something else, or maybe I got to continue. Everything should be on a 90-day cycle. You cannot expect results if you do something one time and expect results right away. So everything is on a quarter. Always think a quarterly. This is a breakdown of your goals, actual versus not actual. A lot of the stuff I'm not going to have to go through exactly, but calculate at least a 10%. Like I want 3 transactions. Well, figure maybe, or I want 5 transactions. Well, maybe one of those are actually going to fall apart. And so calculate a little cushion in there. Whenever you're dealing in property management, banks always give you a 25% cushion where, hey, I'm going to collect income, but we're going to only calculate this much because there's a 25% vacancy factor. Same thing in your business. There's a 25% or 10%, dang it, an escrow fell apart factor, whatever that is. Here's an example of a marketing plan. A big push for what you do is all about marketing. Well, it's very easy to set yourself up a calendar for a month and just do a general marketing plan. I'm going to send postcards out this week. I'm going to make phone calls next week. I'm going to do door knocking this week. And then I'm going to follow up with more phone calls the following week. Like whatever your campaign is, I'm going to send thank you cards out. Then I'm going to send a sphere of influence announcement letter. Something new that happened in the market. So every week, I'm going to create a campaign that tells my friends and family about something new that happened in the market. That's my campaign. Now, what's my delivery system? I'm going to do it via mail. I'm going to do it via phone call, or I'm going to do it via social media. But write yourself out your campaign. I'm going to get this information out this way. And then give yourself a goal. I'm going to have it done by this date. For 1 week, that's what I'm going to focus on. That's it. That is it. And just you come to the office, you sit at home, but you focus on your work. And you focus on this is a profitable thing. This is active marketing, not sitting back waiting for the phone to ring. That's passive marketing. We want to be doing active marketing. Know that things like door knocking, that's not an active marketing is like staying in your sphere of influence and asking for referrals. That is a direct approach. Door knocking is more of a passive way that I'm walking around and I'm talking and I'm knocking and I'm talking to people, but they might not be in the real estate. They have no relationship with you. They don't know who you are. It's not a very strong way to gather. Facebook, passive. You don't have that one-on-one. Phone calls, active. So what is making sure that you're doing things that are active and passive, not all passive. If it's uncomfortable, it's probably active. It's a good way to think of it. If you don't like doing it and it pushes you to do something uncomfortable, that means you're growing. You're doing something that's out of your comfort zone, which means you're growing as a professional in this industry. You got to get creative on your farms. Think about what typical buyers or sellers are wanting right now. You are in the business of selling information. How can you get this information to them? How can you be the go-to about the information? I mean, there's a number of type of campaigns. I keep leaning on sellers have equity. Why aren't we reaching out to people that bought 5, 6 years ago? Why isn't that is such an easy campaign to do? Call the title company, give them a list of properties that were bought 5 years ago. Find the ones that, and then tell the title company, I want it just investment properties, not homeowners. Because they obviously bought to make money. Well, think of this property as a stock. Is the stock high right now? Hey, Mr. Buyer, you always buy low, sell high. Well, guess what? You bought low back in the day. We're high. Why aren't we rolling this into something else? Is it time to sell now? I know you don't know me, but I run data all day long, and your name keeps coming across my desk because your stock is high right now. Your property value is high for what you bought it for. And as an investor, I'm sure you'd want to know, now's a good time to sell. That is a simple campaign that literally can take you for business for months, because it can keep you busy for months. Marketing plan. So then this is, fill out your own marketing plan. If you don't have a marketing plan, you're just floating right now. You have no idea what you're doing on a daily basis. You have a good, you're there, you're like, my intention is there. I want to do it, but you really haven't sat down and thought about what am I going to do? And that's where it starts. When you're calling your sphere of influence, here's a good script. Again, I'm a big pusher on scripts, not because I read them to the client, but because I would have never asked the question, hey, Geraldo, I forgot his name, Gergerty, very unique name. That's why I was having a hard time with it. I did ask him, I said, I don't want to meet and I don't want to insult you, but how do I pronounce your name? And he's like, Gergerty. I said, okay. I would have never asked the question, Mr. Gergerty, are all parties going to be at the property when you're ready to sign? If I do exactly and you're happy with my marketing strategy, are you ready to list your property tomorrow? I used to never ask that question, but I asked it today for the first time. That was out of the realm of asking questions. And his response was, hell yeah, like, Dave, I will sign every freaking paper you have if you knock my socks off. He was a very, very, very front forward type person. So we laughed about it, but he's like, I appreciate you coming prepared. I said, that was an awesome response. Like, now my mindset is, I'm not going on a listing presentation. I'm going to get a listing tomorrow. It changed my whole thought. Now I'm calling him and I'm bringing a couple people with me, because I have a feeling I'll be able to go live broadcast. He's going to be a great example of like how a listing presentation should go. Because at the end of it, I think we're going to get it. So we are going to get it. So asking those type of questions are big. I would have never done that without doing script reading every morning for the last month. That just keeps putting me in. Then I actually pulled my scripts up knowing that there was going to be questions that I forgot about. So I should pull my script up just so I can be talking to him and reading it. Oh, that's a good one for him. Boom, I'm going to do it. So that's the importance of script reading. Here you go. So these are all scripts. Qualifying a home and motivation. Another question I asked. Tell me your motivation. Why are you selling? Well, I don't really want to sell, but my brothers keep hounding me and they're cheap and they want to get cashed out because he's holding all the money for rental and he's not divvying it out. And now it's making all the other brothers mad because we all want to get paid. So I think we're just at the point where we're tired of dealing with each other. Great. That's good motivation. Let's get you guys done, cashed out. And when you sell this property, what do you plan on doing with the money? Oh, well, he started talking about other investments that he was wanting to talk about. Hey, if you come across these retirement type homes, I'm starting to see this as da-da-da-da. We have a whole nother avenue. He goes, do you know about that retirement home behind bonds? Oh, yeah, sure. I better research it. So asking these questions without directly saying, are we doing more business together? I have now found that he's going to be in the market for quite a while. He asked about commissions, and I told him it's not fair for me to talk commissions over the phone when I haven't shown you value. How can I show you what I'm worth if I can't show you what my marketing is, let alone there's other parties in the transaction? He ended up pulling it out of me, but I stopped him in the beginning by saying, and until I show you value, I don't feel it's fair on my part to show you what I charge without showing you what I do. And he goes, I can totally respect that. And I said, he goes, but this is what we were trying to net. And what I've heard, Redfin does a 4%, and we're trying to net this price. And I responded back with, what we're really discussing is a couple $1,000s. And if I can't negotiate a couple $1,000s on a $500,000 transaction for you, I probably am not the agent. You're hiring me because I'm good at what I do, and that I'm going to try to get you top dollar in your price. But first, we need to discuss what our strategies are and how we're going to get that. That's what tomorrow is going to be about. And he goes, great. Well, if you think netting in this 520 range is realistic, that's kind of the mindset we have right now. You could charge us 10% for all I care. Do you think we can net this range? And I went, I don't know. Let me do my research and I'll come prepared tomorrow. So again, there were no definitives. There was no me telling them what I charge. I just gave them an overview of this is why we charge what we do. All right, moving down. Sample letters. So everybody's like, nice professional letter always goes very far. This falls back to the Brian Buffini way. You know, there's no right, wrong way of doing this business. The goal is, how are you going to communicate with your clients? Anytime you communicate via phone or something, if you're not sending them a nice letter, well, maybe start doing that. Send them a nice, hey, I appreciate the phone call the other day. I hope all is well in the life. I heard you had something big happen in your life. That's awesome. Something happened big in my life as well. I got my first showing listing presentation and I did real well. And I just wanted to share that with you. Reach out if you have any desires to get into real estate. Please keep me in mind. All you're doing is keeping them in front. A nice little drop once a week or once a month. You don't want to be that person that shows up every single day. I think there was a lender back in the day that literally got banned from an office because he would come. If you've been in the business long enough, just his first name started with an R. You probably know who I'm talking about then. But he got banned because he'd show up every day for like 3 hours and just hang around the office, just hanging out. Don't be that person. It's etiquette of like, hey, I'm a professional. I'm sending you letters. I'm following up once a week, once every 2 weeks, just touching base. It doesn't always have to be about real estate, but by the end of the conversation, you can slip a real estate thing in there. Hey, by the way, I really appreciate you always thinking about me when you think real estate. I know you're trying to help me succeed in life. I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate that. And if you can continue to pass my name and number on, I'd love that. Thank you very much. My clients don't get offended when I tell them thank you. Like, I purely work off of referrals. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you when you send you a referral. But the follow-up to that is every time they do, you need to go above and beyond for them. Calling them, telling them thank you. And then when that person that they referred refers somebody, now you're starting to get a chain of events. You're calling this person to tell them thank you for the referral. Then you're calling this person to tell them thank you for the referral that they sent you because they just sent you another referral and it all happened because of you. And I just want to express my appreciation. And here's a gift card to go have some dinner. And awesome, here's a bottle of wine, or I'm having a party at my house. Why don't you come over so we can catch up? So I can tell you in person, thank you. Okay, so those are letters, intro letters, more letters, more letters, more letters, end of year holiday letters. On your marketing campaign, you should be marking out your main holidays: Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, President's Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July. These are big major holidays. Their birthday, their anniversary, the day they bought their house, the day they refinanced their house. All of those are big dates to them, their kids' birthdays. And as a marketing professional, you should be nailing those dates every time. Sending them a letter, sending them a postcard, dropping a phone call, doing it before it hits the social media world. That means that you're not getting told by Facebook it was their friends, it was their birthday. you're like, oh, someone's got a birthday coming up. I was just thinking about you, and your name popped up in my database. Fine to tell them you're in my campaign because you're important to my business. So I want to make sure that I send stuff out to you, and I see that your birthday's coming up. I'm not going to tell you how old you're going to be, but happy 21st. You know, they'll love that. All you're doing is staying top of mind. And before you get off that phone, it's, yep, I'm still going to my real estate classes. I'm still learning a lot about this industry. I didn't realize there was so much to learn about this. The reason why is you're instilling confidence in what you're doing to them. The reason why they don't want to do business with you right now, or they haven't chosen you, is probably because of the confidence level, because they're still wanting to know. But as you educate them that I am getting better and better every day, that I'm taking this serious, they're going to not question to do business with you. And eventually they're going to go, I actually have a question about real estate, and you're going to be able to answer it. And that's going to build confidence with them. Hi, hope you're doing well. More letters, more letters. Daily affirmations. Does anybody do this? Does anybody do daily affirmations? You know, so what my coach taught me in the very beginning when we started coaching is your morning routine is probably the most important thing you should be doing. And that doesn't have to do with real estate. It has to do with just getting going for the day. And so she's like, your daily routine should consist of some private time to yourself, time to think and reflect what you're doing, some encouraging thought process of where you're trying to head, some kudos of what you've been able to accomplish, and a sense of gratitude of who's helped you get there. That's kind of your daily routine. So what we've kind of started in our house is the alarm goes off, Kristen gets up, she goes and does kid stuff to get breakfast in the morning, and I'll kind of stretch, I'll put a Tom Ferry on while I'm brushing my teeth, and I'll just kind of reflect on like things that are going on in life. And I try to block the negative things and try to lean on the positive things and just go, okay, what am I going to accomplish today? What am I going to tackle today and not stop my day until I accomplish it? And it's typically one thing that like is doable. It's the little things that are the big wins. Like, I'm going to put 5 people in my database. Like, all right, and I'm coming, and when I go and I take the shower, it's like, all right, so who are my 5 people that I'm going to put in my database? Like, and I'll have Tom Ferry playing in the background. That's typically something like, get your ass out of bed, like set your time, like, Eye of the Tiger or whatever he has. But he has some really good points. And if it's not him, it might be, Kevin Ward on Expired, How to Handle Objections. Like, it's something in the real estate world that talks, or it's Times Magazine, or it's something in the Financial Institute, or something that's changing in another industry that's not even having to do with my industry. What's going on, like MindBody was a big client that we've been pitching. I wanted to know everything about MindBody, so I started Googling the CEO, I started Googling what they do, I started making phone calls to people that I know work at MindBody, and I started doing my research a week before that meeting. So all of a sudden, that topic brought me into why it's important to have core values in the company. And that core value topic brought me into what other businesses have core values. And that realized I don't have my core values in place, that I don't think I've expressed them to the team of what we are doing as a company. So that has morphed into something that the company needed because of where it took me. That was my daily morning. That's like my morning ritual. So having your daily affirmation, I don't necessarily say that I do this. Dave, I'm honest. Dave, you're amazing. Dave, wow, you've lost some weight today. Like, that would be a good daily affirmation. I haven't done that, but I heard it works. If I did, probably be pretty embarrassing. My wife and Kristen would laugh at me when she walks in. It's like, this is a good day. Yeah. But try that. Here's some more letters, some more letters, some more letters, some more letters. A lot of good letters. Good letters. End of year holiday letter. Template letter. So again, these are all PDFs. They should be under letters. So letters, boom, boom, boom. So I think what today really consists of is, one, your business plans. You're on the 6-month mark. So I almost encourage, if you need someone to keep you accountable, hey, send me a text every time you're doing. So my coach was like, I had someone in my brokerage that was having so hard of a time focusing on their day-to-day activities that I made them text me every time they shifted to a new activity in their business. And after doing that for 20 days, he realized that he started staying on focus of what he wanted to accomplish by doing little tweaks like that made him go. And she said, I started getting these texts all day like, hey, I'm changing to prospecting today. But it made him feel that he was being accountable to himself. So I encourage you to think outside the box of, what do you need to keep moving forward in this business? Because if you don't have a game plan, you don't have a business, you don't have anything, you are floating. And you're just kind of like everybody else in this real estate industry, and you'll become just a number of, I tried real estate, it was really hard. But in reality, it really isn't hard. It's just consistent, and it's doing profitable things every day. I don't have enough people to talk to. Okay, well, that's your problem. So how can you fix that problem? Well, I need more people to talk to. Well, who are the people that you want to talk to? Do you want to talk to investors? Do you want to talk to homeowners? Do you want to talk to friends? I just want to talk to somebody about real estate. Fair enough. Why don't we start with a neighborhood then? Because that neighborhood is real estate. Why don't we start with a company that has relocations, that has people moving? You see a high flow coming in and out. Why don't we start with a local business owner that has high foot traffic in your area? Why don't we start with some way to get in touch with somebody? Why don't you start with making a webinar yourself about what you learned that week in real estate, and start inviting people, the general public, in there? But you have to put yourself out there in order to get people to interact with you.
Dave,
Yeah.
just got an email from Melissa Layshop from Bakersfield. This is what you're talking about. It says, I have a friend here in Bakersfield that sells airtime for Channel 58. I would like to run a commercial advertising coming back to Bakersfield, to the community, and I want to donate 1% of my commission to all local veterans centers. I want to push people to list with Hubbell because we care. So many discount agents here, and I don't want to be one. That's what I said.
Perfect. So what do you think that falls under a category of her marketing? What does that fall under?
That's an introduction. Introduction back to.
It's an introduction. It's an announcement. Why is she announcing? Because she's coming back into the area. You can announce anything and then have a draw of what's the benefit. Her target market is probably going to be veterans. Is that what she said, veterans? Donate to veterans. So now she has a target market to go talk to Veterans Affairs, talk to all of those employees there. She has an opening to go talk to past military, service groups that have military, the broadcasting company. She's opening a whole door of a new market because of her thinking outside the box of just scheduling a 15, an ad. What if she doesn't follow through with the actual ad? What if she went in there and it ended up being too costly? Is that a negative? Or the fact that she went that far, could that have opened up the doors just to get that far? So she thought outside the box to get to a certain level. Doesn't mean that if she doesn't run it, all of a sudden everything falls apart. I had a great idea, but something happened that blocked me. And so I'm having to transition until I can get, the funds to come in or whatever, that something happened in my world, but we put that on the back burner and we're still going to run with this. So that you'll see me transition. You'll see people transition all the time. Just because you don't follow through all the way doesn't mean that idea is dead. Just set it aside and build off of what you got and keep moving forward on it. But that probably will open up multiple transactions for her if she runs it accordingly. But if she doesn't sit down and figure out her game plan of at least a roadmap of where she's going versus where she wants to end up, it probably will never get to this point. And the reality is you'll never get to this point, because every time you're in your roadmap, something changes and you make another roadmap. And then you make another roadmap, and then you make another roadmap. But don't forget to always look back and see where you started versus where you're at. And that's kind of where you're at right now in the 6-month window of the first 6 months of the year. I might not have had a transaction, but what have I accomplished from here to there? And what did it take to do that? And how can I do it again, but quicker, and then make a transaction because of it? So that's your business plan, kind of going back to that. Thanks, Dad. I recently put together, here's some scenarios, some ideas of how you can reach out to people. Boom, boom, more ideas. If you're thinking of renovating, let me know. If you're considering selling, sometimes it's the direct approach, but sometimes it's not. So there was one up here that was, there was one. Please give some consideration. I have a number of buyers. I recently put together a home energy efficient checklist to help announce homeowners how to optimize energy consumption and reduce energy bills. I designed an easy to use guideline that examines your home to find energy wasting trouble spots. I've also included blah, blah, blah. That has nothing to do with buying or selling. That's just you being helpful. Again, it's you ensuring to them that you are an expert in the home ownership, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with buying or selling, but you're locking in a long-term client. You send them that with a little brochure. Here's what you can do to save some energy and da-da-da. And then you're always closing your line with a call to action. If you know of anyone buying or selling, or if you had interest with what's going on in your neighborhood, please reach out to me. I'd love to be your area specialist. Okay, coming down, and that would be down to 53. So I'm going to open up for 10 minutes, and then we'll call it good. I will start lesson 2 next week. I'm not going to go through this line by line, page by page in this book. We're going to get through this thing pretty quickly. A lot of the stuff is self-explanatory. I think as you get pointed in a direction, the whole thought is you being creative in your business and you being you. So I can't teach you that. I can't tell you what your marketing plan should be. Because at the end of the day, you just got to do something. You got to just get your name out there and start talking to people. I think people love humor. I think people love when people are being true to their true character, not lying or not, I'm just mirroring you, like I'm just being what you want me to be. I think staying away from that type of aspect of the business would probably be in the best interest because clients can see through that stuff. Don't take things so serious, have some fun with this business, and get creative. You know, the concept of trying to do financial debt, I'm looking at it as this can be a benefit to everybody in the company because all of a sudden we're trying to pull people from the general public in that have some debt that might want to get into home ownership and the American dream in the future. Well, if our company is able to help them get through that point, whether it's just education or resources, that shows that we're trying to help the community in general, and those people should come back to us to do business. Thoughts? Open commentary? Go.
I was just telling my coach, it helps me to keep track of my numbers, to see, so I can focus on my goals and keep in mind, like, hey, how many more do I need to do?
Are you really keeping track, like an accurate number of, okay, and it helps?
Yeah.
It truly helps.
I mean, you got to visualize it. You got to see that number, you know, it's like, what am I trying to hit?
Mm-hmm.
How do I hit it?
How far back have you taken it? Does it get all the way down to what your day-to-day, like what your day-to-day should look like as far as?
I need to get there as far as like filling in, I just the broad. It's like, you know, my goal for the year, my business plan, and like what I needed to do to get those goals.
Okay. Do you think you're planning on, because even me, I struggle with taking the time to sit down and actually break it down and then holding myself accountable to the numbers that I put on the page. I mean, I struggle with that on a daily basis. Of just like, I want to write my numbers down. Like, that's stupid. Like, I just want to go to work. Like, and it's probably been a 2-week conversation. So now I'm at $500. I've had to pay this lady for her to yell at me. Right. Where are my numbers?
It's like you said, you know, you gotta have a plan. So it's like, okay, how many calls do I need to make? How many people do I need to email, text?
I would love to see those numbers, and I'd love to post them right up on the board. And that would hold people accountable, because now it's not just you holding yourself. People in the office will see what you're doing. And if they see that you're here and all of a sudden your numbers are increasing there, they'll know that it's working. It's not hype. It's not talk. And that would push you going, do I want to hear that response? I can't stop now because I have people watching me of a level of success. And success is not just a number on the board. Success is, did I put a goal down and did I achieve my goal? And so it's not always this is a transaction, I'm chasing transactions, I'm trying to put high numbers on. It's I've achieved this in my business, and it's been hanging on me for a long time, and I've overcome it, and now it's part of my business and I'm not scared of it anymore. That's success.
It doesn't have to be about hitting a number. It's like you said, you know, I'm going to have 5 business cards today, you know, make that your goal for the day, or I'm going to meet 10 new people this week and get them in my database.
I'm going to script read and not flake on that class.
What's that?
I'm going to do my script reading class and not flake. It is very hard for me to get up in the morning. Yeah, but that was one of my goals. That was one of my goals is I wanted to be accountable to having this 8:30 class. Even you guys aren't showing, no one, like only a handful show up. I'm sitting there ready to go because that got me out of bed. That got my morning routine started. Because if I'm not on that class, knowing the first day that I flake, I'm going to have a full class and everybody's be like, where the heck were you, Dave? I'm like, shoot. So I've yet flaked on a class, and that is a big accomplishment because typically I'll go for a while and then I'll get bored of something to move on. And I haven't done it yet. And that's probably one of the few things in life that I haven't burned yet, where I just stopped doing it.
Well, in the story about the name tag, that's powerful.
Well, new experience doesn't matter. That's potential one transaction on your profit and loss because wearing this name badge. It cost you, it didn't do any effort for you other than you had to put it on in the morning. And that made business for you. And at the end of the year, you're looking at your business as a whole, and this is the source that it came from. Did you put that down on your source list that says, I've gotten 1 lead because of this? Because that goes every morning, oh, but me not putting this on, I'm not going to get this source of business today. And now you go, wow, okay, I better put my name badge on because there's my 1 source of business. So that's the concept of changing from, am I just showing up and I'm expecting that work is going to come in, or am I doing profitable things? The name badge is a profitable thing for you. It has proven results, so you keep doing it. And then things that don't work, you stop doing it. Postcards don't get you calls, don't do them, or change them. You know, realtor.com, finally, after $12,000 invested in realtor.com, I'm going to get a listing and I might break even at the end of the year. Like, yay. But that means that I've also had 6 transactions that agents have been able to do because of that. So not only am I going to break even, but then I've profited off of 6 transactions because you guys were able to do business. So by the end of the year, it was profitable. So maybe I'm riding on realtor.com telling them how crappy it is, but I've actually made a profit. There was a return on it. It created business for the company. So why, maybe I shouldn't lose it. Maybe I should just build off of it. That's running a business. That's looking at the bigger picture. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Property management is a hot thing right now. That's a residual income. I'm still leaning. Of course, I'm pitching every time up here. I want more heads. I want more seats in the chairs. I want more recruiting. We have hired a recruiter. So he starts on Thursday. His job is to recruit in the office. I never want you guys to fill your number in the company, but the reality is the more numbers we have in the company, the better production, the faster I can buy things, webinars, and you will see things change in the company quicker when we have more production and more numbers on the board. There's 2 ways I can do that. I help you guys improve your skills so your conversion rate is higher, or I get more people in that have a network. I need to have a very even balance of that. I got to continue to help sharpen skills in the office. That includes mine, and I need to continue to bring new people in because that brings new networks in, and networks are what brings new clientele in. That is the business model that I have going on. When you guys get to a level of like, I'm good at my contracts, I'm good at this, but I feel I'm weak in this, this is where you're recruiting and reaching out to start building your team, where you have teams within teams. And you're going, this person specializes in areas that I'm weak, and I'm strong here, weak here. You know, I know that I'm weak on my calls to recruiting, so it's time to bring, will that person help me build the company and make money? Yes, then it becomes a profitable event. Hiring a virtual assistant to do servicing calls on our clientele and our internet leads to make better conversions. Will that make us money? Yes. Great. Then we're going to run with you for 90 days too. So we did hire a virtual assistant. She starts on Tuesday. And then we did hire a recruiting agent, and he starts on Thursday. So the virtual assistant is going to be making phone calls 8 hours a day. She's going to work on the CRM, and then she's going to log into our 8:30 class every morning, showing her screen and showing, because that's what she's doing all day is running scripts. She's making phone calls. So she'll actually be a resource to be able to help with objections and this. She worked as collection agents. She worked as a collection agent for 4 years. She's got a slight accent, but I thought she was awesome. No. And I said, are you more passive or aggressive? And she goes, I actually enjoy being aggressive. So I handle my objections very well. And I went, great, I'm going to start you in Bakersfield, because if we piss clientele off or whatever, let's work the kinks out, and then let's come back over here. But it's a bigger market over there. You know, it's going to be harder. Over here, it's a small community. The last thing I want to do is upset people. So I want to work the kinks out before we bring it over here. All right, questions? We're good? Comments?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks guys. Till next time.
Which is Tuesday.
Tuesday,